Citations for beginners. You found some really cool information on the internet, and you want to put it in your research project, huh? Sounds great! It's always a nice feeling when you find the perfect piece of information to include in your assignment. Now, before you place that information into your project, there's something you should know. You could get into trouble. Yep, that's right, a lot of trouble, for taking information from a source and putting it in your research project without sharing where you originally found it. It's called plagiarism. Plagiarism is when you take someone else's information and try to pass it off as your own. So what should you do if you want to include someone else's information in your research project? Well, it's okay to use information from other sources in your assignment. In fact, it's what you're expected to do. All you need to do is share where you originally found the information. Include what is called a citation in your research project. Citations are usually found at the end of research projects, and they include information about the original source. Here are a few items that are included in a citation: the name of the author, the title, and the date the information was created. There are other pieces of information that are included as well. So why do we create citations? Well, it's important to share where you found the information and give credit to the author. Also, if a classmate or teacher wants to look at the website that you used, they can use the information found in the citation to locate it themselves. And when you include citations in your research project, you're showing your teacher that you found great sources that relate to your topic. Now, what's tricky about citations is that you have to make them look a special way. Just like there are rules that you need to follow in school and on the bus, there are certain rules that you need to follow when putting together a citation. Here's how a citation would look for a website that I found on Tigers. You can see the author, title, the date the information was added to the website, and other pieces of information. Looks a little weird, right? Well, the good news is that you don't need to memorize or figure out how to place the information in this special format. You can use citation websites such as EasyBib to help make your citations quickly and easily. Let's do a quick wrap-up. Plagiarism is when you take someone else's information and try to pass it off as your own. It's okay to use information from other sources in your assignment. To prevent plagiarism, add citations for those sources. Citations need to be written in a specific way. Include the name of the author, title, date it was created, and sometimes other pieces of information. There are websites like EasyBib that help you create citations quickly and easily.
In this citation tutorial video, I'm going to walk you through the steps of citing a print book source in the APA format. All of your citations will be listed on a separate page at the end of your paper. Here you can see I have started my list of citations titled References. APA recommends the use of Times New Roman font in a 12-point size. And for our citation today, we're going to use the book The Biologist's Imagination by William Hoffman and Leo Furcht. And the first element in this citation is the author information. This information can usually be found on the cover, title page, and copyright page. The author's last name goes first, then a comma, then the author's first and middle initials with periods after them. In this case, we are only given the author's first name, so there will only be a first initial listed. If there is only one author, then you can move on to the next part of the citation. In this example, however, there are two authors, so I will put a comma after the first author, followed by an ampersand, followed by the name of the second author in the same format as the first. The next part of the citation is the year of publication. This information can be found on the copyright page. We can see it here, 2014. We will go back to our references page and put the year in parentheses right after the author information, followed by a period. Next is the title of the book. Only the first word of the title and subtitle, if there is one, will be capitalized. So I'm going to write the first part of the title, The Biologist's Imagination, with only the capitalized. Since this book also has a subtitle, I will put a colon followed by that subtitle, Innovation in the Biosciences. And remember to only capitalize the first word. And then the entire title of the book needs to be italicized. After the title and subtitle is a period. The next information we need is the location where this book was published. This information can also be found on the copyright page. In the section where the publisher information is located, we can see that the publisher's address is New York, New York. So in our citation, we will put the city, New York, followed by a comma, followed by the state's abbreviation, NY, followed by a colon. And finally, the last element that we need is the name of the publisher. This information can be found on the copyright page, title page, or back cover. Here we can see that the publisher is Oxford University Press. To finish our citation, we will close it with a period. Now that we have our completed citation, the final step is to format it. Citations all need to be double-spaced with the second line onward indented. And that is how to cite a book in the APA format.
In this example, all the punctuation is in red for emphasis. In your actual reference list, all font would be black. Start with the author's last name, followed by their initials. In APA style, you never write out the full first or middle names. Enter the year the article was published, in parentheses, followed by a period. Next, enter the title of the article. In APA style, the first letter of every word of an article title is not capitalized, just the first letter of the first word of the subtitle, and proper nouns. Next, enter the name of the journal in italics. In APA style, you capitalize the first letter of every major word in a journal's title, except little words like of. After the comma, enter the volume number. The volume number is also in italics. It's followed by the issue number in parentheses. Notice there is no space between the volume and issue number. Lastly, enter the page numbers of the article. Don't forget a period at the end. You probably accessed most of the articles you're using online. For online journal articles, you add the DOI number, or Digital Object Identifier. You don't have to indicate what article index you used. Notice there's no period after the DOI number. But where do you find all of that information? Everything you need is usually right there in the journal article. Whether you're using a print journal or you have a PDF of an online journal article, you can easily find the title and author and the journal name, volume, issue, and date are normally on each page as either a header or a footer. If the DOI number isn't there, check the full record in the article index that you used to locate the article. Most online articles will have a DOI number. But what if there's no DOI number given? In that case, APA suggests providing the URL for the home page of that journal. Don't just copy and paste a direct link to the article itself. This is one time when a librarian will actually tell you to use Google. Google the name of the journal. It's helpful to put quotation marks around it. This is the URL you need to copy and paste. After the page numbers, type retrieved by and paste the URL of the journal's home page. The URL should not be hyperlinked or underlined. It should be in the same font as the rest of the reference. For sources with more than one author, check out our video, How to Reference Sources with Multiple Authors in APA Style, or visit the MUN Libraries webpage for our full online APA Style Guide and to chat live with library staff. This video explains how to include websites in your reference list according to APA Style 6th edition. If your instructor has told you to only use scholarly or peer-reviewed sources, this does not include websites. Instead, visit the MUN Libraries webpage to search for books, ebooks, and scholarly journal articles. Sometimes it may be appropriate to use a website for a course or an assignment, but you have to evaluate websites very carefully. There are some credible, good sources of reliable information out there, like government or museum websites, but unfortunately plenty more are not credible, very well written, and would not be good sources for a university paper. For help with evaluating websites, check out MUN Libraries webpage, How to Evaluate Internet Resources. In this example, punctuation is in red for emphasis. In your actual reference list, all font would be in black. Include as much of the following information as possible. Start with the author's last name, followed by their initials. In parentheses, put the date of creation or publication, if it's available. Then the title of the web page or document. In APA Style, the first letter of every word of a web page's title is not capitalized. Just the first letter of the first word of the subtitle, and proper nouns. Then write retrieved from and copy and paste the direct URL link to the web page or document. If all of the information is available on the web page, your citation will look like this. Notice that the URL isn't hyperlinked or underlined. It's the same font as the rest of the reference with no period after it. However, it's often difficult to locate all the necessary information for websites. Often no specific author is given, or it's difficult to determine a publication date. If there is no author given, start with the title of the web page or web document instead, followed by a period, then the date in parentheses. If there is no date indicated, use the abbreviation N.D. to indicate no date. For more information about APA Style, check out some of our other videos, or visit the MUN Libraries webpage for our online APA Style Guide and to chat live with library staff.